Today's swing is analysed with a view to what can a senior golfer do in their swing to make them hit it a little bit further or maybe hit a little bit more consistently. We have here Nick Price, that one of the greatest ball strikers of all time. Obviously, that was in the 80s and 90s, and this is a more recent swing. So Nick is getting on a little bit now, but still swings it great, still competitive, still plays a little bit of professional golf, and just thought it would be interesting to have a look at this swing as something slightly different to just talk about, like, how can senior golfers get better, or if you have a short swing, what can we do to still hit the ball a decent distance and, you know, hit the ball well. So before we get into that, if you could just please be sure to like and subscribe. That helps this video reach more people, helps me out a little bit as well. So if you do enjoy these swing analyses, please, anything you can do to help, that would be great. So looking at address now, nothing to at all fault in Nick Price's setup. So from down the line, we've got shaft pointing just above his belt, which is perfect. We have a nice soft posture, arms slightly outreach from under his shoulders, and actually a slightly closed stance. And again, that's a nice one for senior golfers to copy, just because it helps them swing a little bit longer and maybe help the club get the ball more on the inside. So that's all good. From face on, we have textbook grip, textbook, just everything about that. Good ball position, maybe a slightly fractionally narrow stance, but he's only hitting like a short iron in this video. So again, just viewing this swing through the lens of, I'm a senior golfer, what can I do to hit the ball further or hit it a bit more consistently? So the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at this swing is how much leg action, how much movement in the legs Nick has in this probably in this first half of the swing. So that left knee comes way out from its initial starting position. You know, by the time he gets to halfway back, his left heel is actually starting to come off the ground. His right knee's moved back, his right hip has moved back, and his left leg has come really forwards. Now all that's doing is helping him extend his range of motion, because the longer you swing it, the further you can hit it. So we don't want to be short if we can help it. So just allowing that knee to come forward, that heel to come up early in the backswing is just going to help you get a longer position. From face on, we have all the textbook things here of, not too much wrist hinge. We get to the end of his takeaway and the butt end of the club is outside his right foot. So I like that a lot. Obviously with Nick Price, we see club face looks at the ball for a long time in that takeaway, which is good. And something I think we want to be clear about is, although he's moving his left knee and he's turning, he's actually not swaying off the ball one little bit. There's no lateral movement to the right in his backswing, so the idea that we need to be shifting our weight behind the ball to then throw it forwards is a bit of a myth. You can lift your heel off the ground and still keep your weight centered. And actually, by the time he gets to the top of his swing, you can see how he's actually got a little bit of leftward lean there. His head's moving forwards, his hip is also moving forwards, despite the swing not being very long. Now, the magic in senior golf swing or short swing distance, hitting it further, is what happens with Nick Price at the top of his swing. So an interesting reference point for me is how at the top of his swing, his elbows, his right and left elbow, are near enough the same level, which is pretty standard. We've got the shaft pointing down well inside the ball, closer to his right foot, which is pretty steep, but I really like this position. Now, what we're going to see as he starts down is that right elbow dropping significantly lower than his left elbow. So we've gone from completely level elbows to a significant amount of tilt, so right elbow way underneath his left. And what that has done is that has sent the club head enormously back behind him. So what that does is two things, is that creates a load of inertia in the club head and in the club shaft, which builds speed, and it also gets the club on the inside. So what we know is the longer we can delay that hit for, the more we can send that club behind us, the further we'll hit it. So getting the club to drop as far behind us as Nick Price does is a great way of doing that. We want that club to work, so, we want that club to trace as big an arc as possible into the ball, because that gives us more momentum, and the more inside the ball is, obviously the more we draw it. So all these, and what causes that is that elbow drop. So right elbow drops below left, left heel goes down, and then he swings into the ball. Now, what I want to just note here, after that amazing shallow move, that right elbow dropping below left, when he comes into contact, he actually hasn't opened his body up very much. So hips haven't turned very much, knees are pretty square, shoulders and forearms may even actually be closed. And I think that's an important note, in that we don't want to be rushing our turn through the ball. And this is something that I see all the time, is golfers from the top of their swing turning too early before they get the club down into a good position. So you can see Nick here drops the club and then he moves hard through the ball. Where what most golfers do is they turn hard from the top, which gets them steep and over the top, and then they have to manipulate it at the bottom, which is just a recipe for slices and slow. So if we can get that elbow dropping, get that club head behind us, and then turn hard, that would be a much more appropriate sequence for someone who swings it short or is a senior player. From the front, what we're going to see here is a good amount of shift. Again, that shift is happening as the club is dropping. He's not necessarily opening really hard, but then he really throws his arms through here. So this swing is much less about the turn on the way back or on the way through, and it's much more about creating the inertia in the club head through the elbow drop, and then whipping his hands through and releasing everything through on the way through. So, I mean, this is obviously a Hall of Fame golf swing. I don't know whether anyone will be able to copy this, but I would absolutely suggest, if golfers, senior players and short swingers are able to get anything like this transition, where the right elbow drops below significantly, they don't rush turning through the ball, and then they really fire everything at the ball and into the follow through, you're going to pick up yards, you're going to fix slices, you're going to play better golf, definitely drive the ball better, definitely strike the ball better. So this has been a really interesting sort of swing deep dive. Nick Price is one of my favourite players of all time, certainly favourite swingers of all time. So if you can learn anything from this, have that knee come forwards, drop that elbow, and then fire everything at the ball. But again, thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support, and we will see you real soon.
Thanks very much for watching the videos. If you can please like and comment to boost the engagement, and subscribe if you don't already, that'd be great. If you like what I put out in these videos, you like what I say about technique, I can actually help you with your game no matter where you are in the world. So if you just want to click the link in the bio, it'll take you to Skillist, which is an online coaching platform, and there you can look to see what I do, and actually I can help you with your game. So analyze your swing, give you some drills and tips to help you improve, so we can work together to help you lower your handicap.